2013.
So it's going to be an inner ruling elite and then everyone else. And I got news for you. You're everyone else.
Invisible Empire. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com, or watch it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Hello, friends. This is Alex Jones. You've heard me talk about Cal-Ben 5-star soaps for years. This is an American-made product of the highest quality and compares to nothing you will find in stores. You can buy factory direct, shipped via UPS right to your door. Check them out on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091. Take my word for it. Once you've used pure soap, you won't buy anything else. Since 1947, Cal-Ben Soap Company has been showing consumers that soap can be tough on dirt and gentle on the environment. Buy American and stay clean, as well as support InfoWars. Visit 5starsoap.com today or call 1-800-340-7091. Well, Marty, what do you have to say?
As founder and owner for over 63 years, satisfaction is guaranteed or double your dirt back. Call us at 1-800-340-7091 for a free catalog or visit our website, 5starsoap.com. Thank you.
Okay, we're going back to Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, and while we're on the subject of almost everything the government and the big corporations that control it says is a lie, until we're just swimming in an ether of lies. And then anyone who discovers we're being lied to from the source documents, from the witnesses, is called a conspiracy theorist. I want to bring up the fact the Washington Post 3 days ago just came out in a headline about Saddam and a fake movie saying he was gay by the CIA, that they did make a video, a fake bin Laden video. What an incredible admission. Or now they're suddenly everywhere admitting, okay, the troops help grow the opium because if we don't grow it, Al-Qaeda will get it. So now they're just spinning everything but admitting everything. So we'll talk to him about that, the economy, and a lot more. But I'm really glad he's out there promoting the fact that this huge cover-up of the Pulitzer Prize-winning report by a New York Times editor with all of the absolute proof. You got to go read the reports. Of the fact that I mean, this is total proof. The government knowingly blocked it, knowingly shut it down, knowingly kept the public from knowing. I mean, this is confirmed. Just like Gulf of Tonkin or so many other things, Operation Ajax, you name it. Before we go back to Dr. Roberts, here's a book, The Secret Team. This is the book the CIA doesn't want you to read, by L. Fletcher Prouty, Colonel, U.S. Army. He was the admitted Pentagon liaison to the CIA and the White House briefer. We got a White House briefer, very important position. Ray McGovern joining us next hour. The Secret Team, this is now back in print from Skyhorse Publishing, available at Infowars.com. Or Invisible Empire, A New Order to Find, who these people are, how these criminal networks operate, how to stop them. Very important new film. Police State 4, The Rise of FEMA, the physical enforcement grid being put in because they know you're waking up. Very important info. Every American needs to see this. Don't tread on me. States' rights, Ninth Amendment rights. One key avenue to take the country back. Available at Infowars.com. And, of course, the Obama deception, Fall of the Republic, all of those available at Infowars.com. And you can also watch them all online at PrisonPlanet.tv. Okay, speaking of material, you may be fully awake, audience. Your friends, your family, your neighbors aren't. They know we're in trouble. Now the time is ripe to educate people. Before we get back into this story, Dr. Roberts, tell folks about your new book, because that is extremely informative.
Well, that's how the economy was lost. That book explains how the elite destroyed the middle-class jobs in order to further enrich themselves, and how they have dismantled the ladders of upward mobility, stopping the ability of people to rise in order to put themselves in permanent control at the top and the other 99% of the population in poverty at the bottom. That's what the book shows. It shows how the end of the American middle class and the end of an opportunity society. Now, Alex, let's get back to the story because, one of the things that people always say when they're confronted with evidence that the government has lied or something, they would say, well, if there had been a real conspiracy, somebody would have talked. But, of course, they always do talk. As I said earlier, 2 United States Secretaries of Defense talked and said in sworn testimony that people were left behind. Reagan's national security advisor talked. A leader of a Delta team, which twice was organized to go rescue the prisoners, only to be called off both times, has talked. All sorts of people have talked. So it doesn't do any good to talk. In the case of 9/11, we know and have said so many times, there were over 100 first responders who were in the towers, firemen, policemen, building maintenance people, who not only heard but experienced explosions. Many floors underground in sub-basements.
Well, Doc, as you say, I've interviewed police and firemen who we saw on the CNN video saying they're going to blow it up, get it back. They weren't involved. They were just told, get back. And Silverstein says we gave the order to pull it and watch it come down. And now a Fox News pundit last month came out and said, yeah, I was there. We were talking about blowing it up with Silverstein, but we decided not to because it fell on its own. I mean, this is hidden in plain view. They're just counting on us to not be able to handle the full horror.
Well, the point is, it doesn't do any good if somebody talks, because it remains a conspiracy theory. Now, as for the cover-up, obviously the Pentagon and the military are very interested in the cover-up, because how many people would join up the military if they expected to have to fight if they knew the government would abandon them if they were captured? I mean, what kind of morale would the Army have in the Marines, for example, and the Special Forces? Would they be all these gung-ho people out there if they were aware of the fact that if they get captured, they may simply be abandoned, and that when the war is over, they won't be repatriated? They'll just be left in the enemy's hands. So the reason for the cover-up, you see, is there are many reasons affecting all parties. And what is also amazing is that the 2 chief celebrities who were prisoners of war, John McCain and John Kerry. Well, Kerry wasn't a prisoner of war, but he was controversial about the Vietnam getting the Silver Star. So we have these 2, and they're both instrumental in the cover-up. Both of them have done everything possible to prevent the truth from coming out, and not only that, but to lock up all the documents that reveal the truth. So, and McCain, of course, is notorious for browbeating all the witnesses, including the POW families, and Kerry went along with changes in the law that simply put locked away somewhere forever all the documents that proved that the prisoners were abandoned. So you can see the extent of the corruption and the evil. It's John McCain on the right, it's John Kerry on the left, it's the Republicans, it's the Democrats, it's all the presidential appointees, with the exception of those 2 secretaries of defense and Reagan's national security advisor.
Doc, is somebody approaching with a vacuum cleaner?
No.
Okay, because there's a little bit of a hum in the background, and it's just increased a little bit. I don't want it to, some of it was drowning you out, but that's important info you're covering. So we see the method of the control. In fact, from some of the documents I've seen in research, this is a system of corruption. They like to get the entire government, different power structures, involved in a huge cover-up, because then later it can also be used to blackmail. And that's what Special Forces commanders and many others that we've talked to who've worked on this have said, is that the North Vietnamese are blackmailing the federal government to this day, because the federal government made that move to not get our troops out, because they decided, okay, we'll pull out of there. We're done. We don't want the North, who's taken over the South, to be able to use us as a blue chip against us. We'll just call these troops expendable hardware. And the communists are sitting there going, well, this is perfect. We'll keep them, and then they'll go along with the cover-up, and then we've always got this ace in the hole.
Exactly. That's right. And anybody in the American government that talks is simply out of the government. They go from being a high official to a nobody. So this is how the government gets away with its lies. And, of course, the American people, or so many of them, are just gullible. They're just terribly gullible. And they have this sort of faith and trust in government that Americans didn't used to have. I blame that on Franklin Roosevelt, who, in the Great Depression, trying to rally people, gave them the idea which they've